Hello everyone, can you hear me loud and clear? If you can, please let me know in the comments box below. Okay, fantastic. Looks like it is clear and it is crystal clear. Fantastic. Welcome everyone. Today is a special day for me. As you saw in the title, 50,000 subscribers, and thank you so much. I really appreciate this, and I'm really excited that I've managed to reach this milestone. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be going through my experiences with setting up my YouTube channel, you know, my ups and downs, and pretty much you can ask me any questions that you want. So we kind of like hanging out and discussing, you know, so many things about YouTube, whether you want to start your own YouTube channel or if you want to know what to do to get started. So I'm pretty much open to any questions. So first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone. Wow, there's quite a lot of you here tuning in. This is fantastic. And you know what? I can't thank you enough. This YouTube channel has really changed my life because it's been quite difficult for me to really express myself creatively because I come from a background of fine art. I used to be very good at painting, very good at drawing, but I found it very difficult to really showcase my work. So when I started using YouTube as my medium to show my work, this really changed my mind. But of course it came with ups and downs. At first it was quite difficult because I lacked a lot of confidence, but now, wow, you know, with all the subscribers and all the love that you shower on me, it's really pushed me on and gave me the courage to continue. So I can't thank you enough. You guys are really, you know, you'd really mean a lot to me. So I really appreciate it. Okay. Let's go on to the questions here. I can see a lot of congratulations here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This is really awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll over here to the top and just go through the questions. Okay. So Dylan says, what made you want to start a YouTube channel? So what made me want to start a YouTube channel is when I first started off, I came from a background of, in fact, you know what? Let me start right from the beginning. Ever since I was a kid growing up, I was always good in creative stuff, drawing, and my goal, my aim in life was to become an architect. So what happened is when I finished my A-levels, I mean, I come from a fairly large family. It's 6 of us. So what happened is when my dad was getting older, he could not afford for me to go and study architecture. In fact, I had got a place in America. I think it was California State University, if I remember well. But at the time, he could not afford to send me over there to study architecture because he had to take care of the other siblings and help them out with their education as well. So that really cut my dreams short. So it left me with just my A-levels. So at the time, my A-levels were not enough for me to start a proper career. So I diverted and I went into networking, and that job was very good, well paying, because I used to do networking with Cisco, Microsoft Systems and all of that. It was well paying, but not very good. So what I did was I decided to explore digital creativity. And this is where I stumbled upon Photoshop. So if you really go to my YouTube channel, the very first tutorial that I made was me talking about how to make your images better in Photoshops in very few steps or something along those lines. So this is where I was starting to discover how Photoshop worked. But the main reason why I decided to do that was because I found it very difficult for me to sell or to even approach a lot of companies with the skills of just design. So even though I studied it, it really didn't excel me to the stages that I wanted, in terms of a career. So this is why I turned to YouTube while I was working other jobs, like working in the factory. So the main reason here was to really see what people thought about my work and use it as a platform to accelerate my career and my hobby. So that's how I got started with YouTube. Okay, so let's have a look here. Drew says we only subscribe because we feel bad for you. It's okay. Keep subscribing. But you know what? I'm really happy, at the end of the day, because wow, 50,000, I can't believe it. When I saw the message, I just woke up because I have a habit of sleeping with my phone close to my pillow. So every time I wake up, the first thing I do is I look at the stats and see how my videos are performing. And when I saw the 50K, you know what? I was half asleep. I just completely woke up. So really exciting. Okay, let's have a look here. Oh, can you guys hear me? I just have a message here saying there's no sound. Is that true? Can you guys hear me? That's strange. Is the audio coming okay? Okay, it looks like the sound is good. Okay, great. I was panicking a bit there because I did say quite a lot, so I wasn't sure if you guys could hear me. Okay, so let's continue. Any questions for me? I think there's a question here from Elevation Allah saying, please explain A-levels and O-levels. That's exclusive. Yeah, A-levels, O-levels, GCSEs, that's British education. So A-levels is the stage before, I think you'd call it college in America. So it's the stage before you go to university. So A-levels is the stage before you go to university. O-levels is the stage before A-levels. So O-levels is the stage before A-levels. So you need to pass your O-levels for you to go to A-levels, and then you need to get good grades in your A-levels to go to university. So that's how it works. I've got a question here saying, what's your Facebook page follow? Right, my Facebook page follow is really bad, and I'll tell you why. When it comes to marketing online, the way I looked at these platforms were Facebook is good because a lot of people are on the platform. But the way it works is when people scroll on the screen, they just happen to come across your posts and they have no search behind it. So if you create videos for for Facebook, the way I see it is you're just creating videos where people can just land on them. Sometimes they see them, sometimes they don't, because even lately they've actually reduced the reach of your Facebook page. So even if you have, let's say 200,000, 20,000 Facebook follows, it doesn't mean that all those people will see your post because they want you to spend money on Facebook. But the one thing I like about YouTube now is when you create content, it lives there forever. So as I was talking about my very first video, right now, if you go to my YouTube channel, you will see that very first video, which I posted in 2010. So YouTube acts as a search engine. So whatever videos you create, they are always going to be there. And that's the one thing I like about it. So if you're building your channel, if you create content that's searchable, that means that when people start searching, your results could come in the search results. So I haven't really concentrated on Facebook because of that reason. So yeah, my Facebook is really bad, but I am going to try and create a community around there and just have a place where we can use as a forum where we can do Q&As as well. So I am going to revisit that, but at the moment, it's really bad. I mean, to be honest, I can't even talk about it. It's less than 100. Okay, let's see. I can't pronounce the name here. Is it Giuseppe Lavesa saying there are many tutorials on Divi. I mean, there are many tutorials on Divi on YouTube, but yours have something more than others. And then you're going to say you can teach how to create sites and also graphically beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate that feedback. And to be honest, when I come across feedback like this, it gives me even more energy to want to go in and create more content. To be honest, this is things that really inspire me to create even more content. So it's really exciting to see that you guys are learning from this and this is how you see my content. So thank you so much for that feedback. Carlo says, can I do YouTube with my old but trustworthy iPhone 6s? Absolutely yes. And the reason why I say that is my wife does videos for her baking channel, and she's used this iPhone 6s for a very long time and her following is growing. She doesn't even show her face. All she does is show her, mixing all the flour and everything that she does for her baking, and it's worked really well. So yes, you can use your iPhone 6s. I think there's a video where I mentioned me going really overboard with my gear. To be honest, I see it as a weakness on my part because I have a problem of the shiny new object syndrome, where if I hear about a new camera, I want to go and buy it. If I hear about a new mixer, straight away I want to go and buy it. But it doesn't mean that with those brand new tools, it's what makes your content really, amazing. You just have to balance the two. If you create great content and gauging on your feedback, you will be able to see if people like what you're creating. So that's just how you gauge it. But start with the camera that you have. iPhone 6s will do a very good job. Just make sure you have good lighting and it should work really well for you. Let's have a look here. I need to scroll back because I want to make sure I don't miss any questions here. Okay. Stanford Lee says you deserve more followers. Thank you for the wonderful videos. I learned how to use WordPress and Divi. Thank you so much, Stanford. Appreciate it. Joan says, tell us about the struggles. Okay. The struggles, really, to be honest, were more of confidence. Being on camera was something brand new for me. And yeah, it made me really, really scared and sweaty. I would literally sweat just being on camera. And I do understand a lot of times when people say, oh, I can't start a YouTube channel because I don't want to show my face. Because the moment you start creating your video, what you notice is the way you sound or the way you think you sound when you hear your voice after you've recorded yourself, it is absolutely different. It's crazy. And most of the time it's like cringeworthy. You don't want to hear it. And to make matters worse, if you see yourself on camera, it's even worse. So that was the major struggle for me. I mean, first of all, it was the audio. If you look at my very first YouTube videos that I did, it was mainly instructional videos where you don't see my face. So I had a few people say to me, well, we want to see who you are behind the camera, behind the voice. And it took me a very long time for me to be confident enough to appear on camera because I had a lot of insecurities. And even till today, to be honest, I do it because I get a lot of encouragement from the comments that I see on YouTube. But of course, I did have my insecurities, and to a degree, I still have that. But I just have to force myself to do it. But breaking that barrier of me showing myself on camera, that was a major challenge. It took me so many years for me to actually get into it and start doing it, because the main thing is I have no experience in presentations. I have no experience in on camera or any of that stuff. So everything was all self-taught. So at the back of my mind, I always thought that it's not good enough. And trust me, I know I have close to 600 videos now. I would say I've deleted more than 3 times more than what I've published, because I just wasn't happy with it. So that's another challenge that that I came through. But now I'm gaining more and more confidence. So it's much easier for me now. But I would say appearing on camera and listening to my voice, that was a major struggle. The other struggle that I had was not seeing any growth on my YouTube channel. So I'd feel like I'm putting so much work and nothing is happening. So at the back of my mind, I was thinking to myself, does this really work? And that used to keep me up at night, to be honest. It used to really stress me out, because I would, in the beginning, I would put so much work into editing the videos, into creating all these videos, and just to see that no one has watched it, or just a few people have watched it, that was very depressing for me. So that was another challenge that I had, that really I had to fight against myself to really break that barrier to end up creating these videos. Okay, let's move on. Brenda, good to see you. Brenda says, I want to know how to learn to integrate graphics, texts with my YouTube videos so that they look really nice. Okay, so what you need to do is use a piece of software called ScreenFlow. With ScreenFlow, that's for the Mac. If you're on a PC, Camtasia Studio is very good for that. So what you do is you create your graphics in Photoshop, but you save them as PNG, transparent. So when you overlay those graphics above your image, you can have all your lower thirds, titles, in fact, if you take a look at this video on the top right, not sure if it's the top right for your side, but you can see my logo there, Funnels to Income. That's an image overlay that I added in Photoshop. I created it in Photoshop and I added it on my video. So that's how you would do it. But you know what? I'll make a note of this and create more videos on how to create content. So I'll just make a quick note of that. Okay, so moving on. MD Saifullah Naki says, tell us about your Divi theme journey or web design. Okay, fantastic. I'm happy to talk about that. Okay, so and guys, you know what? I promise I'll be going through this whole list so I don't miss any questions. I'll do my best to answer as many questions as possible. Okay, so my journey to Divi or web design. Now, web design, this came through quite emotional, to be honest, because when I started off with Photoshop, it was more like a hobby, just exploring how many, what I could do with Photoshop, but it wasn't really making me money. So what happened is, this was going back 2002, I think. I was working in a factory in a town called Luton. So this was similar to General Motors. I mean, those are like the big factories, but the company that I worked for made vehicles, minibuses. So I was working there on the production line. And that job was really difficult and painful. So as I was doing that, on the side, I was just trying to find a way that I could support my family even better, because the money that I was getting at the time was not enough to live off of, because at the time I had my son, and it was just me, my wife, and my son. We were just on our own, and we didn't have any help whatsoever. So that job, I used to work night shifts. I used to be so tired. But I say to myself that, you know what, I can't continue with this, forever. I have to find a way to make money on the side. So I started exploring web design because I thought to myself, if I went along the whole high street and I asked each and every one of those companies that I could design a website for them, that could make me some income. So that's what I visualized in my head. So slowly, I started playing around with HTML and CSS, but I wasn't very good at it because I'm more of a design kind of person rather than the coder. So I'm more on the design side, but not the coding. So that made me really struggle with the CSS and HTML. So back then, if I recall, there wasn't even YouTube. So it was very, very difficult to find tutorials on how to get started with web design. So what I did was I went to the local college, to speak to a few people about any of the courses they had. And at the time, all they had was HTML and CSS. So I started buying these magazines. I don't know if you, for those of you in the UK here, there used to be these creator magazines where they were like specific Photoshop magazines. And at the time, it was Adobe MX, Dreamweaver MX. So I saw Dreamweaver MX on one of the covers of these magazines, and I used to buy a lot of them because that's how I would learn how to use Photoshop at the time. So when I came across this Dreamweaver MX, I was like, I wonder what this is. And you know what? It was software that was made by, it was later bought by Adobe, but this software allowed you to design websites visually without actually coding. So this is going back in the day. So I managed to install I think it was a trial version. So I installed it, I started playing around with it, and I was very surprised that it actually helped me design my website using tables. For those of you that, started designing websites back in the day, you'll know what I'm talking about. We used to design using tables. So you'd, grab your image, you put it in the table there, add some text, and pretty much it was very close to how it would look on a web page. So that's how I started with that. So when I created my first page, I was so excited. I was so happy. So what I did is I went on the high street in the town where I used to live, and this was back in Luton, close to London. I mean, it's in Bedfordshire, here in the UK. So I went on the high street and I spoke to this restaurant guy. I mean, this guy that owned a restaurant. And I said to him, look, how about I create a website for you? And, I just talked myself into it. And you know what? So, to my surprise, that was the very first website that I did. It was an Indian takeaway website. So I created that, and that was the beginning of my journey for web design. But you know what? It was short-lived because I thought it would be easy for me to go around and sell my web design services. So it proved very, very, very difficult to try and get more jobs like this because I wasn't experienced. I wasn't very good. I didn't even have a proper workflow of how to set up a business and how to really make it run. But that very first website gave me confidence that I could approach a small business or a small company, and that could, help me earn money from the web design. And I remember very well, that's very first website, I got paid £450. I think it's about 700 US at the time. So yeah, that was my journey in web design. Okay. I know my stories seem very long. Sorry about that. Oh, George says, love Blogger Pro, great job. Awesome. Thank you very much for the feedback. To be honest, I haven't had quite a lot of feedback about the template. So thank you very much. Appreciate that you like it. Right. I'm looking for more. Okay. Turn the volume up. Okay. I'll turn the volume up a little bit. Middlesbrough bloke 1972 said, I designed my first site in 1994, and since changing to WordPress last year, you're my #1 WordPress channel. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, let's have a look. Are there any more questions here? There's a lot of congratulations here from Cassandra. Thank you so much, Cassandra. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Love the graphics. Right. Daryl here. Daryl Wilson. Good to see you. Daryl says, "What may Mac? What's better, Divi or Elementor?" Okay. Now this question here is very, very interesting, and my answer here is going to be a bit biased, but I'll try and be as unbiased as I can. The very first thing is when I look at Divi versus Elementor, Divi, I love the UI because I come from a design. I mean, I love design, so UI means a lot to me. So when I look at the UI of Elementor and the UI of Divi, definitely Divi, ticks the boxes there. And I'm sure if some of you, for some of you that have used Elementor, and in fact, I've tried it as well. I've tried using Elementor. I've tried using Breezy just to see how these work against. I mean, how they compare against each other. So I've tried all these. So I definitely know what I'm talking about here. So when it comes to UI, especially let's say with the theme builder, if you go to the theme builder for Elementor, it's all over the place. If you're a beginner, it's very, very difficult to find your way around and make templates from it. But if you're an experienced designer, maybe you can get away with it. But with Divi now, it's so easy to use. I mean, to be honest, it's actually quite amazing. So I'm sure for some of you that have used that, you can agree with me that the theme builder or even just the UI for Divi is much, much better than Elementor or even Breezy. The second thing is, the one thing I like about Divi is the pricing structure. Two prices, $89. You get your 1 year of updates, and pretty much you can get all the updates throughout the whole year, and you get pre-made layouts. Now the pre-made layouts in Divi, they are more functional. You can actually go in and get a pre-made layout and design a website based on that layout. In fact, I've done a video that shows you step by step how to do that, where you can just decide, okay, I want to do a website about pottery, and then you just use the pottery pre-made layout. So if you love the design, you can go in, change the images, change the text, and pretty much you've got a website up and running really, really, really fast. So in that regard, Divi there, ticks the boxes. The other thing as well, in fact, let me go back to the pricing. $299 unlimited lifetime license. That's unheard of. I mean, I don't think there's any page builder out there that has $299 lifetime license. Elementor, it's yearly, and Breezy I think is yearly as well. And pretty much, the rest of the page builders, they're all yearly. So that's a good bargain. Now, let's talk about the tutorials themselves. On the Divi side of things, there are way more tutorials. I mean, you'll see some live. I do some videos as well. I'm a content creator with Elegant Themes, and also there's some live shows that we do. The features, these features very regular. I know now there haven't been any features lately, but there's quite a lot of features that are baked into Divi, and they are useful features. And the other thing that I also want to mention is with Divi, you can actually sign up for the marketplace, which is coming up very soon. I'm not sure the date yet, but it was announced that it's going to be released. Not sure if this situation that we have right now is what's delaying it, but that's another way that you can go in the marketplace, sell your products, and make more money as someone that uses Divi. So if you started designing websites with Divi, you can start creating your own templates. And to be honest, I've actually experimented with my own templates, and they've done really well. I mean, I've got a few hundreds from it. As you heard from George, he bought my Blogger Pro, and he loves it. So this is something that you can also do and earn more money on the side. And also, if you wanted to create an agency with that license, it is fantastic. The other thing is, when it comes to support, Divi has a feature where you can activate it on your website, and it allows remote connection from the support team to take a look at what is going on your website. And again, no other templates or no other theme builder has this feature. So literally you can give access to the support team. They can come on your website and try and fix it for you remotely. And then once they're done, you can switch it off and pretty much you're good to go. And the support is great as well. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on, but that's the one thing that I really love about Divi. So I thought I'll just talk about the main 4 things. All right, so moving on. Breathing Design says, can you start all over again? No. Let's have a look here. I'm just trying to look for some questions here. There's a question here about my equipment. Wow, I saw the question here and then it just went away. This is strange. Jamie here says Daryl is fishing for new video ideas. Oh, I'm glad, Daryl, you agree with me that Divi has the best pricing hands down. Oh, and also I forgot to mention, if you decide to promote Divi, the affiliate program is awesome as well because it's recurring. So if someone buys Divi through your recommendation, you get, I think it's 50%, and you continue getting that as the person keeps on subscribing. So the affiliate is also better. I don't think these other page builders have a similar affiliate commission style. So yes, that's another one. You know what? Something's happening with these as I scroll. It's just going crazy. So I'm missing some of these comments here. But you know what? I promise I'll get to your questions. Carlos says a marketplace in Divi, like an e-commerce. Yes, a marketplace where you can go and buy plugins, templates, themes, child themes, and so on. So yeah, it's going to be huge. In fact, yeah, I mean, time will tell how this would work. But in my opinion, I think this could work. But again, time is going to tell. But from what I see, there's a lot of enthusiasm around Divi itself. The community is very, very strong. So, and they have a sense of supporting each other. So I think this will be a success. Elise says Divi team needs to work on responsiveness. Yes, I agree. Absolutely, definitely agree that responsiveness needs to be better. So I think that's one of those things that behind the scenes they're probably working on in terms of the features that are going to be released soon. So hopefully we're going to see one of these because as you can imagine, there are different screen sizes now. So the best way is to see compatibility on through the different screen sizes, and that will be perfect. So I agree. Gabby says, which program or tool except Photoshop do you recommend to resize pictures? I would say Canva. It's free, so you could use that to resize the images for sure. Steve says, in my haste, I purchased Divi Lifetime without using your affiliate link. Can I revert and buy again? Actually, Steve, what you can do is get in touch with support on Elegant Themes support and just tell them that, and just tell them to credit the affiliate to my name. If you tell them to credit to my name, that should work fine. And then let me know how that goes. But I've done this before. People have asked me before, people that have bought Divi without using my affiliate link, you can always go back and say, can you credit this to Mac, please? And that should work fine. So Steve, go ahead and do that and let me know what they say. Legitimate Matters says, does Divi offer an incentive for switching from Squarespace to Divi like mobile companies? No, I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any incentives to when you purchase. Right. Daryl says, waiting for the newest features though, give us some spoilers. To be honest, I wish I could give you some spoilers, but nah, I don't know any, I don't have the inside information in regards to the features. Okay, Ratapula says, at Mac, can you indicate what's the configuration you have on local by flywheel? I ask because when I do a new installation, I realize that the health of the WordPress. Okay, Ratapulad, are you using local by flywheel on Windows or are you on Mac? Because it may be that there's a difference there. I'm using Mac, so if you use Mac, just let me know so I can go through my settings. Let me know if you use Mac, please. Mega Theme says how to show picture-in-picture with multicam sequence in Adobe Premiere. To be honest, I don't use Adobe Premiere for any of my videos. I just use ScreenFlow, and for streaming, I use Wirecast. So pretty much that's all I use. Right. Natsiri says, what camera lighting setup are you using to get such video? Okay, especially for the live stream. Okay, great. I can talk about that. Now, when it comes to the camera, I use the Sony a7 III. That's the camera that I use. In fact, I've done a video on how I connect my camera to my computer. It's through a device called a Camlink. Let me see if I can show you. Yes, I think I can show you. There we go. So this is the cable. So this cable here is HDMI. It's coming from the actual computer. I mean, from the camera into this device called the Camlink. And then over here, we have USB, and it's USB to my computer. So pretty much that's my connection there for my camera. And when it comes to my audio, I use this mixer. I'm not sure if I can show you this. Does it show? There we go. So I use this mixer here. It's called a Rodecaster Pro. So that's the mixer that I use. And I also use the microphone. The microphone I'm using right now, it's a boom microphone. It's the Rode NTG4. The reason why I use this instead of that one there in the back is because when I do live streams or tutorials, the big mic is in the way. So, I mean, I just find that annoying. So that's why I use this. Although the better quality comes from that microphone there. So the microphone behind me has much better quality. In terms of the lights, I have, in fact, let me show you this one right here. So here's one of them. These are LED lights. So I have 3 of them. I have that one in the back. And then I've got one over here and another one over here. So it's a 3-point lighting system. And the lights you see at the back, they are, what's it called? Philips Hue. So what I'll do as well is I'll add a list of all the gear that I use for my live streams and for my tutorials. Okay, so moving on. Right, so I'm looking for more questions here. Stanford Lee says, what's the next great feature for Divi 5.0? To be honest, 5.0 is is quite far away, and no idea what features are in progress. Roger says, I purchased MailPoet and you explained it well. Yes, so let me read the question again. So Roger Matthews says, I purchased MailPoet and you explained it well, but I didn't use it with Bloom. Does it work well with Bloom? I had trouble with MailPoet in Safari. Yes, it works absolutely well with Bloom. In fact, I've created a tutorial on my YouTube channel, which shows how I connect it with Bloom. And when you say you have trouble with MailPoet in Safari, it shouldn't be a problem with Safari, to be honest. It could be that there's issues with how you've set up the website itself, because MailPoet, it works behind the scenes. It just collects all your emails. But Roger, just get in touch with me on Funnels to Income on the chat, and I can help you out and see what the problem is. So just drop me a message there and I'll try my best to get in touch with you. Ratapula says, I use Windows. Okay, so I'm not sure how it works on Windows, but let me just do a quick demo here and show you. Let's set up the website itself, because MailPoet, it works behind the scenes. It just collects all your emails. But Roger, just get in touch with me on Funnels to Income on the chat, and I can help you out and see what the problem is. So this is local. Just drop me a message by Flywheel. So this is what I use to. Ratapula says, I use Windows. Okay, so I'm not sure how it works on Windows. So this is local by Flywheel. A quick demo here. This is what I use to create all my website. So I'll just do a quick demo here and it works behind the scenes. It just collects all your emails. So if I click here on Roger, add local site, just get in touch with me on Funnels to Income on the let's call this 50 on the chat, and I can help you out and see what the problem is. So this is local. Drop me a message by Flywheel. So this is what I use to. Ratapula says, I use Windows. Okay, so I'm not sure how it works on Windows. So this is local by Flywheel. Quick demo here. This is what I use to create all my. To be honest, mine has been very stable. I haven't had a demo here, and it works. You can see here on the top, just collects all my emails. So if I click here on Roger, setting up, just get in touch with me on Funnels to Income on the let's call this 50 on the chat, and I can help you out and see what the problem is. So this is local. Drop me a message by Flywheel. So this is ready. Ratapula says, I use all I have to do. I use Windows. Now if I click on View Site, I'm not sure how it works on Windows. So this is local by. So I haven't had any issues with create all my. To be honest, mine has been very so I went through a demo here, some sort of see here on the top, just collect all my emails. Just get in touch with me on Funnels to Income, local by let's call this 14 on the chat, and I can help you out and see what the problem is. So this is local. Drop me a message by Flywheel. So this. Let me bring up the questions. Right. Socialize You says, there are many companies selling plugins, etc. Why Elegant Themes can't make them first? For example, Divi Toolbox from Divi Lover and Divi Responsive Helper for... okay, I think I get the gist of the question. Now, when it comes to... did someone say double audio? Okay. So when it comes to Divi not making its own plugins, I think it's actually a good thing, because it encourages the community to create other plugins to make everything all work together. So if Divi was to make everything, I think they'll be stretched too much because their core product, which is the Divi theme builder, needs to be on point. And I'm sure you can agree with me that there is still a lot of work that needs to be done to make it even better than it is right now. For example, the headers and footers. I mean, not headers and footers, the headers. I think there could be a lot more work done on the headers, and I'm sure behind the scenes, this is something that we're going to be seeing in the near future. Updates to the header. So these are the sort of things that could be improved to make Divi a fully functioning, solid platform, rather than add other plugins and other things to work with Divi. Because what I've noticed, and I've spoken to developers before, and it does take a lot of time to make sure you have a product that's running out there in the wild and it's working with a lot of agencies, and to experiment with that. Definitely that will get a lot of people really upset if things started breaking. So right now, I think the main core focus is for them to work on Divi itself and leave the plugins to other developers. That just gives them enough time to just focus on the core products rather than plug in all these extra plugins to work with Divi. In fact, that's my opinion. That's what I think. But yes, I would say focusing on the main core products would be the best thing, and then let other third-party companies create all the plugins if they need to. Okay. Sammy, can you drop me a message? Sammy says, I bought your Genesis template and installed it. It does fine. One thing makes the drop. Okay, drop me a message and I'll be able to help you. So go to funnelstoincome.com on the chat bubble. Just drop me a message there and I'll be able to help you. Sufyan says, can we make pre-made blocks like Elementor in Divi 2? As you promised last time, pre-made blocks using... Yes, this is something that I'm definitely working on. And these are, for those of you that may have not heard about this, I'm working on blocks which you can use. And these blocks, you can just install them into your Divi library. And when you design your websites, you just click on the blocks that you need and away you go and you can build your site. So for example, for the hero area, I'll design 5 or 6 different types of styles of your hero area. So when you have these in your library, you can just choose which hero area you need for your websites, and that could be your starting point. So yes, this is going to be added onto the Funnels to Income VIP. So that's where everything is going to be. So templates and all these blocks, they're all going to be in the VIP area. So yes, I'm still working on that. And to be honest, what's really slowed down a lot of progress is because of the situation that we have here. Even me, my time here in the studio is very limited. So I don't have a lot of time because they're now opening this building from 8:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. So that's the only time I have to work, and it's not enough for me to produce the content and also work on this stuff. So that's what's really slowing me down. But of course, hopefully we're going to get past this very, very soon. I've got a lot of exciting things for Funnels to Income VIP membership. So definitely you are going to be seeing these. Okay. James Evans says, I've got an eye on the Divi Toolbox plugin. To be honest, I haven't used it. I haven't had a look at it, but it's something that I can do a review on. So I'll take a quick look at it, try it out, and then do a quick review on it. Tiago says, when using local to design my site, my changes don't seem to be saving. When I close the visual designer, the page, right. So it looks like local by Flywheel is having a lot of issues here. Tiago, are you using local on by Flywheel on Windows as well? Please let me know in the comments box. Denny says, hello, Mac. You are the best in teaching from Italy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. Kudrat Ali says, can you discount for VIP memberships? Actually, that's a very good idea. I am going to create a discount to celebrate the 50K subscribers. So keep an eye on your emails. If you haven't subscribed to your emails, make sure you subscribe to your emails. I am going to be doing a discount on the VIP and also on the web design formula course. So I'm going to do a huge discount just for today, okay? 24 hours. So yes, that's a good idea. Right, so it looks like Windows here is the problem. Windows is the problem because I can see here from Tiago says, yes, Windows. And Ratapula says here, it's missing the PHP info.dll. So I would contact local by Flywheel and just ask them specifically about this file here. I mean, this error that you're getting, and they could help because, as I mentioned, I'm using mine on the Mac. Ktown50 says, what's the name of the managed hostings site that you recommend? Okay, it's called Flywheel. In fact, let me add it here. Okay, if you go to, why can't I add it here? You know, this is weird. I have to sign in to chat. Okay, let me sign in. Right, so I'm just signing in here. Not sure why I'm using that without being signed on. That's ridiculous. Okay, there we go. Right, so right, so I'm just going to add it here. So this is the affiliate link. It's funnelstoincome.com/flywheel. I really like that. I mean, it's really, really good. In fact, I've done a review about it, so you can check it out. It's really, really good. There's so many amazing questions here. Right. Okay, so Ktown50, I've just added the link there in the comments. Jamie says, I've been into your affiliate marketing content lately. Can you talk about your plans for affiliate marketing tutorials, videos, or creating a full course? Okay, Jamie, that's a very good question. Now, when it comes to the affiliate marketing, the way the reason why I decided to do more tutorials on affiliate marketing is because, you know, when you have a website, eventually, or most people want to use that website to create content, to create an income for them. So affiliate marketing became one of the things that you can do. Courses is another one. So those main two sources of income very dear to my heart because this is what I started doing last year, and I started seeing some results with affiliate marketing and courses, and most recently the templates. So affiliate marketing is really powerful because if you're a freelance designer, you can recommend the tools that you already use to earn an extra income. Now, what really triggered this affiliate marketing? What really triggered me to create affiliate marketing tutorials was a comment I got from one of the members of the community, and he said that his jobs had dried up because of this virus thing that's going on. So a lot of companies were not interested in renewing his maintenance fees, and also the web design jobs had gone really low. So I thought to myself, you know what? It's always great or always good to have different sources of income. So if you're a freelance designer and you on the side, you also do affiliate marketing, that is fantastic. So the quickest one that comes to mind is if you're designing websites for small businesses, you might as well sign on to the Flywheel affiliate marketing program. So every time you recommend someone to build their to go on their hosting, you get a payment from that as well. And this is how now you've created two sources of income. So this is what I highly recommend. And to be honest, you can take this even a step further because you can promote the tools that you use, and also the tools that you can start experimenting with. And I'm sure you've noticed that I've promoted Wishlist Member, which is a very good plugin for memberships. I promote Divi, I promote MailPoet, and LearnDash. So these are already 4 sources of income, and they've been really well. So because I'm making progress with this, I would like you guys to get progress with this as well. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm producing 2 videos a day. One of them is to continue with the design stuff, my design tips, tutorials, Divi, and the other ones are affiliate marketing, how to make money online, courses, and so on and so forth. Because I know there's some of you that may want to use the skills that you've had on web design and use them for other areas as well. So this is why I'm creating that. So in terms of the future, what do I intend to do with this is to continue creating tutorials on affiliate marketing, just letting you guys know what's required, what is involved in affiliate marketing. And then once I really master it and I start getting consistent results, I'm going to then create a course which will teach you how to do it from start to end. Because a lot of these tutorials I see online and all these courses that I see online, they are not very accurate, majority of them rather, because they assume, or they don't tell you that you need to have an audience. They don't tell you that you need to promote certain types of affiliate products. If you take a look at the video that I did today, in fact, it's going to be released later on today. It talks about promoting products that are already well known. So let's say there's a new page builder that comes out. Now, if you compare that page builder, you're trying to promote it versus Divi that has been out there for over 10 years. Most people are more familiar with Divi than they are with new products. So if you're an affiliate marketer and you're trying to promote the new product, a lot of work has to go into it. You either have to have a large mailing list, or you need to spend a lot of money to promote that product for you to gain traction, because no one knows about it. It doesn't appear on the search results. So these are the sort of things that you need to be aware of. And a lot of these tutorials you see online, they talk about, oh, look, I made this amount of money, but without telling people the truth. So I want this channel to be a channel which tells you the truth, the real story of what goes behind the scenes when it comes to affiliate marketing, or creating courses and so on. So the idea is to create these 2 extra sources of income on this channel. So I am going to be creating some courses later on once I master these the strategies, because to be honest, I am failing. I tried to do YouTube ads last week, and I almost spent $1,000 and got nothing out of it. But I know I'm going to keep trying until I nail it. And once I nail it, you guys will know. And it'll be easier for you guys to then, continue with affiliate marketing, because you'd have learned it, from me. Okay. I know I tend to keep going on and on. Okay. Let's have a look here. Lauren says, to your knowledge, are there any conflicts with latest WordPress and Divi. No, I have no conflicts at all with the latest WordPress and Divi. So if you want to diagnose the problem, what you could do is it could be coming from your plugins. So disable all your plugins and test and see if everything is working okay. But as far as I'm concerned, and judging by some of the videos that the websites that I'm doing, they seem to be working okay. Right. Roger Matthews says, thank you for all your training on how to make money with e-commerce websites. I was shocked when you said websites were dead on a recent video. We better get reinventing ourselves. Absolutely. So that video, to be honest, I felt bad. So I would feel bad if I don't give you guys a heads up as to where the market is going, because things are really changing. So I am going to continue creating a lot of tutorials on how to make websites that are more relevant, or even the plugins that you need to use on your websites to make them more relevant. But the moral of the story is you need to create websites that do a lot of that give results. Basically, you need to have funnels on there, or you need to be doing some lead generation, list building, and that kind of stuff. Okay. Elise says Flywheel is too expensive. Yeah, to be honest, in fact, you know what? I'm also doing a video about pricing. And let me just touch a little bit on this. When it comes to plugins and tools that we use for web design, for me, in my opinion, I don't know what the rest of you guys think. For me, time is money. I used to use cheap hosting before. And I used to have a lot of problems with the cheap hosting, because sometimes I would forget, to update the themes or plugins, because I used to maintain about 50 websites. So I would forget to manage, update all the plugins on all these websites. And the issue that I had was the website started getting hacked, and trying to restore a hacked website it's time consuming. All right. So even though the hosting was cheap, I ended up spending so much money trying to fix problems. So much time trying to fix problems. So my solution to that was I'd rather pay an extra $10 a month on hosting and have a website that automatically backs up, where I can get support that I need, and where I can speak to the support team where they know how WordPress works. At the time, I was using a service called Site5. It was so difficult to get in touch with the support team. And even if it did, if your website got hacked, that was your own issue. You're supposed to take care of that by setting up all your plugins to make sure you don't get hacked. But when it comes to managed hosting, they take care of that. If they take care of your sites getting hacked, any malware that goes on your website. So to me, it's a plus. But of course, it's up to you. If you have the time to go in and make sure everything's up and running, then fine. I would say the service that you may want to go is SiteGround. SiteGround is better if you want to go the cheap way. So if Flywheel is too expensive, try SiteGround. And again, it's funnelstoincome.com/SiteGround. Nakil says, make your subscribers public. It is public. Is it not public? I'm sure you can see the 50,000 subscribers public. If not, I will go and check on my channel and see why that is. Get Piano Lesson says, is it true you recently said websites are dead? Why? I thought more people are online now, more than ever. Yes, I covered quite a lot of that in the video. Roxana says, I got here too late. Please post the replay. Yes, you can watch this on the YouTube channel as a replay. Breathing Design here has a tip, and Breathing Design says, if you're hosting locally, use XAMPP for Windows. Yeah, so thanks a lot for that tip. Oh, Christine says, I'm waiting for a course like making an online questionnaire for the customer in Divi. Okay, yeah, sure. That's in the pipeline. Carlos says, Bluehost versus Flywheel, which is better? Definitely Flywheel. If you want to go for cheap hosting, I would recommend SiteGround. Julio, what's your question, please? What's your question? Right, I'm just going through here to see if I've missed any questions. Julio, I'm going to try and download Gravity Forms and test it on my Divi install and see what the issue could be. But yes, I agree. The last tutorial that I did was, a very long time ago. Divi 3. I mean, that's going back years. So I'll try and do a tutorial for you. Jonathan Silver says, I'm waiting for Elegant Themes to create some page transition animations. It would be nice, right? Do you mean like transitions from like the home page to the about page like that? If that's what you mean, I don't think that's a good idea, because some of these features, they could end up slowing your website, because remember, there's a lot of behind all these features. There's a lot of code that goes behind it to achieve that. So that could actually end up slowing down your website. But if you're going from page to page, to be honest, I don't think there's a need for transitions. Get Piano Lesson says, how do you prevent your WordPress websites from being hacked? This is concerning. Yes, this happens a lot. To be honest, my websites used to be hacked all the time. So first of all, you need to make sure your plugins are all up to date, all your themes are all up to date, and you have to do this on a consistent basis. So you have to keep checking and making sure that everything is up to date. Secondly, you have to use a password, a very long, complicated password. And there's also a plugin that you need to install called Limit Logins. It stops these hackers from brute forcing your password. And also there's a plugin called WordFence. It does a very good job of protecting your website from being hacked. But as you can see, these four things that I've mentioned, if you're using a web host like Flywheel or what's the other one? WP Engine, they take care of all that side of things for you, and that's why it's a bit more expensive. Kudrat says, best form plugin. To be honest, I've tested a plugin called Fluent Forms. There's a video I did yesterday about it. It is really, really, really good. Very easy to use, drag and drop. In fact, check out the video. It's on the YouTube channel. I created the video yesterday. That's the form plugin that I would choose actually over Gravity Forms. It's that easy to use. Amine says, how comes you never did Breezy tutorials? Okay, the quick answer to that is I don't do tutorials on Elementor. I don't do tutorials on Breezy, mainly because when I look at Divi, I mean, that's the page builder that I prefer, that I use, and that's what I would like to teach my audience. But of course, there are other creators that create Divi tutorials. Elementor, Breezy, but I like to stick to tutorials of the things that I use, because creating these videos is time consuming. So to be honest, to be all over the place, I don't want to give people ideas that, oh, maybe Divi is not good enough now, that's why I'm creating Elementor, or that's why I'm creating Breezy. So I just stick to what is working, what I use, and then just focus on those type of tutorials. So you'll notice that even when it comes to the LMS, the learning management systems, I just stick to LearnDash because it works well for me. There's Lifter LMS, there's Tutor LMS, there's so many out there, but I just stick to what I use. So it makes it easier for me to create those tutorials, because every time I use it, the more tips that I learn from it, I create videos about it. So that's what makes it easier for me. Now, if I went to Breezy, that's like a massive learning curve. I have to learn how Breezy works and then create tutorials about it. So it doesn't work for me. Yes, I am going to add a tutorial on Emilia because I've used it and it's really, really, really good for bookings and all of that. It's a fantastic plugin. I am going to make some tutorials on it. In fact, let me make a note on that. Emilia tutorials. Jonathan, I don't use any mobile menu plugins, so I can't recommend, to be honest. Amine says, I'm Divi. Fun, moved from Elementor. Yes. So I think I get the gist of your comment here. So you moved from Elementor to Divi and you're having a lot of fun. Yes, fantastic. That's good to hear. Suzanne L says, once I get going on the local, I'll be on the roll. Yes, you know, guys, I mean, I really get excited when I hear that you guys are creating all these tutorials and working on your websites based on these tutorials that I do. It's fantastic. And yes, go out there, try and create all these different types of videos. It is really, really awesome. Right. Right, Ripples, and Ripple says, do you run, operate, create your gig solo or have a team? Anyone backing you? To be honest, I'm on my own. So yeah, pretty much I do everything myself, creating the videos, editing, publishing, coming up with the video ideas. Yes, that's all on me. Amine says, when creating a website for clients, do you do the content for your own, or to be honest, when I don't do it anymore, but when I used to create websites for the clients, I used to do everything myself. So I didn't used to outsource it. And again, not that that's the best way to do it. It's actually not a good way to do it, because when you outsource, sometimes you don't get the work to your right standard. And also with me, it's a problem. I mean, to be honest, I'm more of a perfectionist and I like things done my way. So that's why I did everything myself. But now I don't do client's website anymore. Right, looks like I am having some issues here with my connection.